Back with another episode of the Randy Wilson podcast. I'm your host, Randy Wilson. You know, I'm at a point in my podcast life where all podcasts are exclusive. Okay. I'm no longer operating on a schedule. Last episode was with Hayden Fisher, former senator candidate for the city of Richmond and Chesterfield County. Y'all might have wondered where I've been for the past couple of weeks. I've been on other people's podcasts. I actually was recently on Lilith Rose podcast down at RVA Boombox. You may have seen me share some stuff on social media about that. And I was recently on my brother BSounds radio show. I just actually uploaded that to YouTube. Go check that out. But again, all my podcasts are exclusive. Okay. You're not going to see me on a regular schedule because I'm going to do it when I want to, and I'm going to do it with who I want to. Pause. And this is my brother BSounds, who I have been wanting to do an episode with for a long time. And thankfully, we have been able to get this podcast scheduled for today. And so I'm going to get into introducing him in a moment. But before I do, like my big homie, Mike, Mike. What's Mike from 106.5 to be? Mike Street always says, let's take care of a little bit of business. All right. And make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the follow button, like the show, share the show, subscribe to the show, tell somebody. And again, thank you for continuing to contribute to Virginia's podcast for the culture, from the culture, by yours truly, Randy Wilson Podcast. All right. BSounds, man. This is a brother I've known for a very long time. And I'm really excited about this show. He gave me a little bio, so I'm gonna get into the bio before I, personalize it. But BSounds, the ADHD Bandit, is from Lynchburg, Virginia, raised in Alta Vista. Went to high school with a couple of friends of mine, Jay Clark, Jay Rosser. He's also an alumni of Virginia State University, where I first became familiar with him. And I don't even know if you know this. I first became familiar. I didn't know that you was affiliated with the Jays. I didn't know that, but I remember just seeing you on campus. I was a grad student. And even before you was on the radio, you had the voice. You were so impactful. I knew you was an alpha. I saw you at games. And you tried out for College Hill. We can talk about that. Yeah. I remember seeing that because I was doing some radio stuff back then too. We can talk about that College Hill because I think you was like the last cut, if I'm understanding. But at an early stage, BSounds had a passion for the stage, hosting MCing events at churches and in school. In first grade, he was diagnosed with ADD, and by 8th grade, it was changed to ADHD. But he didn't let that hold him back. He had a counselor that said he wouldn't make it at a 4-year school. His mom said, "Don't pay that no mind." And he later was accepted to Virginia State University. Wanted to be a history major, but majored in mass communications. I think it's fair to say he found his niche. I don't know about BSounds, a history teacher, but I'm sure you must like history. I'm assuming so.
Yeah, very big history buff, man. Yeah, my mom had a background in history, so.
Okay. A lot of you guys out there became familiar with BSounds on the radio because he was on the radio at IPower 92.1 for many years. Which is where he got his radio start. Graduated in 2006. But you started working at Radio 1 in 2004. Is that correct?
Yes.
Worked at Radio 1 for 14 years and was recently a co-owner of 101 The Fam for 5 years. DJing full-time now for the past 10 years. I'm seeing him DJing everywhere from, concerts, festivals. I even seen him integrated into the school system, which I think is really cool. He is a father, he is a husband, throws parties and events, fashion shows, career fairs, mentors others in the radio and DJing industry. And his goal is to unite the whole state of Virginia and take us to the masses. BSounds uses his platform for those to live out their dreams. And that's BSounds for you right there. The ADHD Bandit. Bro, I didn't really know that you was really ADHD.
Yeah.
I just always thought that was kind of part of your tagline. Did ADHD really hinder you at any way?
Not, I think it kind of balanced me, really, because it got me prepared for later on in life. Like when I was younger, I was always I was in Boy Scouts and I was always busy. you know. So I played football and baseball, and only downside I used to take, they get Adderall now. See, when we were growing up, we had Ritalin. So only thing, I mean, I thought it was cool. I used to leave class early to go take the Ritalin, but I mean, it really didn't hinder me. But just being labeled, though, you know what I'm saying? It was just, I don't know. Those kids over there, they got to go to the office to take medicine. That's what really got me, But I really didn't feel like I had a problem with it.
Yeah. I'm just trying to imagine you as a kid. Man, I bet you was off the
Man,
chain. I bet you
man,
was
I
off the
say
chain, man. Was you the class clown?
it's Tyler best looking, but they gave me most time. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's no here, there. But man, really couldn't get in trouble out of the high school like that because my mom, she was a special ed teacher. So she taught two classes up from where I was, in school. So think about this, bro. Would you go to the principal's office, but your teachers will send you to your mom's classroom?
Yeah, I'd rather go.
So
I'd rather go to the principal's office, I think.
yeah, exactly.
I'd rather
So
just get the hell up at that school. I don't even know if I'd want to be in the same school.
yeah, exactly. So it's kind of a hinder, but I was my I had my moments.
Let me ask you this, man. Let me ask you this. Well, first off, I always say this. I say it all the time. Labels conceal more than they reveal. Because the hell with that teacher who thought that you wasn't gonna make it. I bet he or she looking really silly right now. Do you
Yeah.
have any connection to that teacher? Have you seen them? Have they seen you?
The last time I had a conversation with him was actually I sent him my email. I sent him my degree the day I graduated.
Really?
That degree. Because they told me I applied to 4 schools. I applied to Bridgewater, I applied to Emory and Henry, and I applied to VCU and no JMU, I'm sorry, and Virginia State. I got into Emory, Henry, and JMU, but he told me like this is the thing. He said I would get a better education at JMU or Bridgewater than I would at Virginia State.
Say that one more time.
He said I would get a better I'm sorry, I would get a better education at JMU or Bridgewater than I would at Virginia State.
Yeah, that's not people recognize Virginia State now as being like regarded as one of not just HBCUs, but it's
Mm-hmm.
looked upon as one of the best colleges and universities, period. Shout out to the
Yeah,
Trojans and
yeah.
President Abdullah. Like Virginia State is a school to be, I was talking the other day with someone, man. Like, I don't even see, and listen, respect to those Union Knights, but I don't even see how people can even categorize Virginia State and Virginia Union, other than knowing they close in proximity. Like,
Yeah.
I got a friend that was had a daughter that went to Virginia Union this past year, and like the dorms was, they didn't have any air conditioned. I was hearing all that stuff. It was just so bad. And like, I don't even remember, we probably didn't have air conditioning when we was in school, but that was a long time ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Virginia
We
State
had the window units.
yeah, I mean, we didn't even have that. So good job for not choosing Emory and Henry because we didn't have no AC at all. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
No
wow.
window units, nothing. But Virginia State has really came a long way, man. Like shout out to Virginia State.
Yeah. And I feel like I want to give a big shout out to all the alumni too, man, to give back, to the school. And April 7th, I'm actually doing Seven Springs Farm down in North Carolina. It's having a VSU alumni takeover. So, they're doing stuff off grounds, down at the winery. And they're having a 3-day series, and I'm doing the brunch on Sunday. So, and I tell you this though, man, I've been out of school. I graduated 2006, almost 18 years, and it just it just gives me joy that I still could go back to school, to the school I graduated from, that I was told I wasn't gonna make it at and still give back,
Yeah.
you know. Like the College of Agriculture right now, they're doing monumental things right now. Like, they just had their second annual Ag Fest, and I'm not trying to take up time, but
You fine.
man, they just got they do a lot with Virginia Tech. Because Virginia State is a land grant institution. You know what I'm saying? So like, people need to know Virginia State is doing big things.
People
When
need
it
to
comes
know.
to
Listen, a lot of people don't know. It was several years ago, but there was this thing out there where Virginia Tech, they was trying to at one point make Virginia State like the University of Virginia at Edric,
mm,
you know, and a lot of the motivation was behind, I guess, the state dollars and value that they seen in the agriculture. Like they wanted Virginia Tech wanted like access to that land, and they wanted to kind of find a way to get that. And I don't know, I'm not speaking as intelligently about it as some, but basically what I see in the midst of all that is that they seen money and they seen value, and they wanted to take that, and kudos to Virginia State and doing what they've done to protect the land and also grow that value for their own students. So yeah. I went to Virginia State for grad school for a couple of years, and yeah, but I think like you probably got the key to Virginia State. As far as I'm concerned, it seems like you do. I mean, you can walk on campus and they know you. You not only you alumni there, but they know you. I mean, you've been able to DJ and continue to keep your brand, highly visible at Virginia State. That's why I knew you before I knew you. I knew you before I knew you, and didn't even know the affiliation and connections that we had in common. But I knew you on campus just because I was a grad student. I come down there from 4 to 7.
Yeah. And bro, I think that was my whole premise dude when I got there. Like, how can I make people remember who I am? Because I had to transition. I wasn't gonna be here forever. It was only gonna be 4 years. But how can I make people remember who I was? So one thing I want, like what I tried to do was introduce myself to everybody I saw. Or like ask you, hey, where you from? Oh, I'm from Philadelphia. Okay, what part? Because I know I wanted to start hosting shows and stuff. So I could do that show and I could host and I could shout out Philadelphia and that high school. There's probably 3 people that went to that high school in that crowd. They remember that.
Yeah.
And it goes, and and I just told myself, bro, I'm from Alta Vista, Virginia. My graduating class was 83 seniors. 12 of us was Black. I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of nervous going to Virginia State at first. You know what I'm saying? I've never been around that many Black people in my life. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you adapt. You meet. Okay, that's where DC hang out at. Oh, that's the bookstore. That's where Richmond at. That's where New Order, New York. New Jersey. That's where they at. But you get to learn and you get to meet all these people, different cultures. And Virginia State brought us together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's what made me adapt to the situation more.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of value, man. Sometimes my wife and I talk about this because I didn't graduate, and I lived in a Black neighborhood. I lived in a Black community, but my school was growing up in high school was predominantly white by far. Then Hispanics and Black was somewhere next, close. But I went to Emory and Henry. Okay, 2% minority in the county back then, and that was people who worked in tobacco. That wouldn't even, so I think that there's value in something to say though about a person who grows up as a minority, because you gain skills that you don't even know that you have until you're forced to have to execute those skills in the real world. And the reality of it is this, everything that you went through, whether it was elementary school, middle school, high school, up until even college, all it was a preparation for you to be in the big league now. We in the NBA now. We in the real world. We got families. We out here responsible for knowing how to execute and make certain decisions for our life. And the experiences we had, whether we was in majority white or majority Black, whatever, it all contribute to you knowing how to navigate now. So, I say that to people who sometimes like to throw off on like, you grew up in the country or you grew up here and that. You know what? It's a blessing that I grew up and I didn't have to listen to ambulance and fire trucks all the time. It's a blessing that I was able to have the ability to walk to school or ride a bike to school. You know what I'm saying? Like those are luxuries in life now that we just don't have we live in a rough world, but I'm gonna get off that. That's in my next sermon. I'll get off that right now. I want to get back to, I want to go back over to Virginia State real quick, man, because you tried out for College Hill and didn't make it. Talk to me about that experience.
It's a gift and a curse in itself, because I kind of was affiliated with it because my line brother, we have this organization called the Betterment of Brothers and Sisters. Ray Cunningham, he was on there. So at the time, I was at Radio 1 on the street team, but they thought I was going to be a finalist. Well, what hindered me from not being on it was I was a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, and BET contacted Alpha Phi Alpha and asked them would they would like to release my letters so it could be filmed on it. At the time, they said that Alpha Phi Alpha thinks that College Hill downgrades the HBCU experience, so they didn't allow me to be on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's really the reason why I didn't get on it.
Yeah, because you would have been better than some. I mean, they could have had another seat for you. You would have been good for. You would have turned that show up. Like you would have been
Bro,
really good for that show.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
They did a good job anyway. I mean, they did a great job. Virginia State, that was probably one of the best college hills it was anyway. Period. I remember I was doing some radio work back then, and I'm not gonna even talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. But I remember some of your cast members. I'll leave it at that. It was an interesting show.
Yeah.
It was an interesting show. I even went to DR. I went to DR when they did College Hill and met I forget her name now. I'm still connected to her. We talk on the internet a little bit. She was one to kick. She got in a fight. I forget her name. She's from like St. Thomas or somewhere. I think she's from St. Thomas, DR. Somewhere.
Oh, I know you're talking about tall lady, I think.
Yeah.
I think I know you're talking about. It's a good experience just for for the school to experience that too. You know, for them to know the ride because you had that down south HBCU experience. You know, your Gremlins, you know what I'm saying, your Southerns, and I mean, you know, your Tuskegees, and I mean, I know they're dope, you know, because I've seen it, but you know, but it was like I said, hey, we're up here, we're above the Mason-Dixon line, but we still on HBCU, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a good experience for the world to see how Virginia State really gets down. You know, so it was cool.
So
for what it was.
I got so many questions that I want to ask, and you know, I probably should think about how I formatted the initial, you know, starting the end, but I got to just get them out. I mean, because I don't want to dismiss that right now. You're doing your thing, but you're DJing. You're doing your thing with your DJing. You really have identified yourself in this DJ market. Where back in the iPower days, you was more of a voice personality, if I'm correct, right? Like I didn't really think of you as a DJ back then. Now I think of you as a DJ.
I wasn't. What happened was, see, it gets tricky. All right, so when I'm on the air as a radio personality, I can't say DJ BSounds because I'm on the radio as an air personality. But I can say DJ Lonnie B, you know, DJ Sir RJ. Oh, he was at the beat at the time. But Big Nat, DJ Foot. But we were told that we couldn't say DJ BSounds, even if I had just started like DJ, if I did have a DJing in the streets. But it was kind of gifted or cursed how I got started DJ. I had the first female DJ in Richmond, Virginia, DJ Peaches.
Okay.
DJ Peaches. She was the first female DJ on radio in Richmond, Virginia. She ended up passing away in 2009. And when she passed away in 2009, I was on air. We had a show on Saturday nights called the Saturday Night Spin Cycle. When she died, a week later, she had already booked a wedding for said, hey, we know y'all on the radio together. Do you DJ? Because she was supposed to do our wedding reception. And I said, well, I told myself, I don't want to tell them no because it was Peaches. You know, that's my partner. So I told them I'll go ahead and do it. I did it at the Jewish Community Center on Libby Ave. I did that first gig, bro. It was a wedding. And that was my first DJing gig ever. I was on, you called me DJ Left Click, because I was on iTunes. You know what I'm saying? We've been to a wedding before. You know, you don't play back that thing up behind, you know what I'm saying? Spend My Life Together by Eric Benet and Tamia. You know what I'm saying? So that was my first gig. And since then, bro, I was DJing ever since.
Yeah.
But on air, I was a radio personality.
Do you enjoy one more than the other? Seems like you kind of, this DJ thing seems like it's your thing now.
Now that it's income, I enjoy that, but I like that point when I'm DJing and I change the record. When I change the record and I can hear everybody say that one part.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like I like to have fun with it. I like to have people look at each other like rapping. I like that song "Put It On Me" Ja Rule, and you know, when the girl part come on, Lil Mo, and like the girls they start rapping, and Levita, and the girls start pointing to the sky when they rapping. I'm like, what are y'all looking at? You know what I'm saying? But they know every word. But I love the fact that, bro, we can have the most terrible day ever. But you get in your car, you hear that one song, it could change everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love what music do to people.
Yeah.
But as that radio personality, going back, I told DJ Ray Vaughn this. There was a point in time when DJs didn't want to be on the radio because it was like doing prime time, like 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. They want to be in the clubs. If you think about it, a club can hold up to 250 to 300 people. But every time we DJ or talk on that radio mic or you on this podcast, just think of it like this, bro. We're going to do this interview, and some people are going to watch this that we're never going to meet.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Or
I've had people
in
come up to
most
me.
circumstances, listen to this.
Yeah, listen to this.
Yeah, I want to emphasize. I emphasize that just because we do this virtually, so people can see it, but most people don't listen to. Most people will consume this through audio, Spotify, Apple platform.
Exactly. People coming to me, but do some thing. All right, let me go back. When you're on the radio, Ronnie B told me this. How are they going to remember you when they turn the mic off forever? So basically, how are they going to remember you when you're going to another station or whatever? Because radio, we don't have no life expectancy. You know what I'm saying? You hear different people in time slots, different times. So I said, well, since I had ADHD, and that person said, I wasn't gonna make it. My second week at Virginia State, my freshman year, I stopped taking Ritalin. That's why I say I'm gonna call myself BSounds, the ADHD Bandit, and I ain't taking my medicine. I had people come up to me that was in jail, bro. Say that joke for my girl. What you talking about? I ain't taking my medicine. Oh, I told you, boo. We listened to him when we was locked up in Riverside. Like, you know what I'm saying? You never know who you gonna meet this world, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, all facets of life, bro. I love that DJing part though, man.
Yeah.
I just love the energy and the vibe.
So let's go back. You got involved in you was working at the radio station. You was doing when you was at IPower, was you on the street team? You was on the street team first before you was on the radio in 04. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what happened, bro. I went out to Virginia State University had a trip out to Las Vegas. It was 4 seniors, and they had 1 spot open for me. I was a sophomore. This is and like you said, professors and stuff. They was like, "This it's something about this kid. He's standing out." So when I went out there, I met the VP of Radio One at the time, and I gave him a resume and shook his hand. So I'm in the Richmond area. If you guys ever have a position open, I would love to have opportunity. So I get back. Fast forward 2 weeks later, I asked this girl that was in one of my classes, you know anything about radio station? She said, my boyfriend works for the street team. I said, how can I set up an interview? I reached out to the guy that I met in Vegas, and people that interviewed me was Joan Grant and Bernard and dude named Shawn Michaels. They said, yo, you come highly recommended. But I could have messed up, Randy. This is what I did. They said, do you want an internship or do you want a job? And at the time, I was driving on campus, but they said, I didn't need an internship till my senior year. I could have just said I needed to be an intern, but that's how I wanted a job. And I started with Radio One back then, back in 2004. So from 04 to like 06, I was like street team, but I would have my chances on the mic. Like I'm learning all this time I'm learning from Mitch Malone, Dee Dee Renew, you know what I'm saying, Rosetta Devine, Stress, you know what I'm saying? I'm learning for the like Russ Parr. This was what Russ Parr was like during the mornings, so I remember when I did a street team one time, Randy, check this out. It was a kid that came down BK Music, the Russ Bus. He was from Tappahannock, Virginia. And they say, yo, make some noise for this kid named Chris Brown. 8 people in the front row went crazy, nobody else. It make this little kid on the stage. 2 weeks later, he was doing Running.
That's crazy. Did you know who he was at that time?
He was coming. We knew him. He was doing like dancing, but he wasn't Chris as we know him as Chris Brown.
Yeah, you saw a lot. That was kind of like that was in my 21 years in Richmond, that time, and maybe a little bit before it, but that 03 to, because I came here in 03, that 03 to 2011, that time frame, that might have been a different time frame for Richmond. Especially when it comes to this music and radio all around.
I told myself, how can I get to the basketball games for right? So I said, let me join the pep squad, right? So I was on the prep squad, just doing crazy stuff. We was on the way to the Freedom Classic, Virginia Union versus Virginia State at the Coliseum, not at the Siegel Center.
Mhm.
My boy Vic gets on the bus at ABOB. We're gonna ride with Ant. Vic gets me, we ride with Ant. We snuck in, we told security we was on the pep squad. Vic was like, yeah, me too. We get out there. This is 2004. This is Rockefeller weekend, right? Rockefeller's newest artist just performed for halftime. His name was Kanye West.
What?
The national anthem, was sung by. I said, "Hey man, I like you in the Coca-Cola commercial." He said, "Thank you." My name Glenn Lewis. That was Tyrese though. I messed up. You feel me? But I met Glenn Lewis that day. Got a picture. The dude that did there was also there was Poet. Remember Oz? Remember the show Oz?
Mm-hmm.
The dude Poet. He was there, and my boy Vic that came and got me off the bus. We know him as Wale today.
Yo, I mean, this is like I said, this is real. This is history that's not current in the presence of Richmond. I mean, I'm not saying that Richmond cities be doing, people be coming through, but like that was just a different time.
Yeah.
That was just a different time.
Wale was only at Virginia State for one semester. He was only there for one semester.
He be coming back now.
Yeah, like he was there for one semester, and like, you know what I'm saying? And we gonna get them. I was like, yo, I tell my wife all the time, like, I went to the concert to see Kanye West on Rockefeller weekend with Wale. You know what I'm saying? But my thing was this, Randy, though. I never wanted even though when he made it big, we still kept in contact, you know what I'm saying? But I never was like, yo, can you put me down? I wanted to find my own lane, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
I guess I'm just built different, bro.
So tell me this, man. What contributed? Because this is everyone don't know this. I don't know this either. We've seen, and I've interviewed a lot of the folks. I've had conversations with Big Nat, particularly about like when Sean Anthony and TT Torres and when they came in and they got rid of him and Foot. Like I've heard a lot of different stories. What contributed to your transition away from radio, and what was it like during that time for you, just seeing the different changes that was taking place? Like, because there was a lot of politics in radio, and then it also kind of speak to going back to those days. Speak to like the IPower 106.5 to be is rivalry or not rivalry. Like, speak to that.
All right, so basically, when right at that transition, they brought in a whole a program director, Jeff Anderson, Uzi. You know what I'm saying? But see, he was trying to restructure everything. So the radio basically went black from November to like I think January, because they brought in Sean Anthony and Big Keith first. You know what I'm saying? So basically, nobody was on air, but I had to show them my work ethic. So it was times that I had to come in, like when nobody else would, like 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. to run the boards, because this is before like you can the boards was in automation, whatever. So it was sometimes where I had a chance to do on air when nobody was on the air at all. Go out and do events. Yeah, it was changing, but I mean, like you said, radio changes at with the time,
And it was an
But
opportunity for you.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I had to, how can I solidify myself to, when this new ship comes, well, how can I get a spot? So I ain't gonna lie, man. When TT Torres, man, I don't know how some people feel about her, but man, she's my OG. She taught me a lot, man. Like TT took me to TT took me to UVA to the Maybach music tour.
Hey, say that one more time. Say that one more time because it's a little blurry. Because I think this is going to be a clip. I need to make sure to hear this because like we got to give all praise and respect to TT Torres. Like she came through Richmond. Come on, man. TT
Torres is my OG, and I'm gonna say this for real. She took me to a couple places, but one place she took me to the Maybach music tour doing at UVA. Meek Mill was on stage. Rick Ross was on stage. Wale was on stage. Wale came out and he said, "Yo, Brandon, I appreciate you being here." And he looked at me and she looked at me. She was like, "Yo, you hype as hell right now, right?" And my leg was shaking. I said, "Nope." But I said, I wish he would have said BSounds instead of Brandon. It's like 35 Brandons in here. She taught me a lot though about this radio game. You know what I'm saying? And I owe a lot to her, man. You know what I'm saying? She did her thing.
Hey, she
She
done
set up
glowed
one of
up
my
too.
favorite interviews. One of my favorite artist interviews was her during her birthday weekend. I had on the radio at one time Ryan Leslie when he had just came out with Diamond Girl, Corey Guns, Peter Guns, and Skills. Tell me, bro, like you can't make this up, man. Like, yo, shout out to TT
Yeah,
Torres,
yeah.
man.
I mean, I'm gonna go back. I got an old picture with TT. TT different now too.
Yeah.
TT really done like got back in her home, you know what I'm saying? And like TT's she's top of the class. I mean, she is what everybody I think in radio, I don't look, some people will not want to, some people don't want to agree with this, but to me, when I see TT Torres, I feel like she is what a lot of people aspire to be in radio.
Difference. It was like different at all. You know, 3 weeks we 106 pound to be had Storm Wild.
Say that again.
Remember when back in the day, it was for 3 weeks, or it was a month and a half, when Star Buck Wild was on the radio 106.5?
Yeah.
Star Buck Wild was there, and they didn't know how to react because it was different. It was different. You
Yeah.
know, one thing I wish that Richmond radio did have though, that we don't have, is a local morning show.
Yeah. Why not? Why do we not? Is it because ratings? Because ratings from the big personalities, I guess, gravitate more listeners in the morning? I'm assuming that's it.
Yes, and then like the market too, the market we're in. But like I grew up outside of Danville, Virginia. We picked up 102 Jams,
102
Greensboro.
Jams. That's what I
Yep.
know all about 102 Jams.
But I
Buster
grew up
Brown.
on
Remember Buster
yep,
Brown?
that's the brand, yep. Yeah, and I grew up on 97.5, and you know, and shout out to 97.5. They was in Raleigh and Durham, and one of them had Brian Dawson. I found out he's from Fredericksburg. That's like my OG, like we family, like you know what I'm saying. So,
Yo,
like,
it was another Cal Santillion too. Was that at 102
and he's
Jams?
on, you know, he's on the Morning Hustle now.
I know.
Yeah,
That shows you a lot right there, man.
yeah.
Um, it was an interesting time. What contributed to you leaving? You left the beat, you left. Well, hold on. Before we go into transition, IPower, exactly. Before we go there, did you ever feel like it was competition with 106.5 The Beat? It's interesting to me. Hey, you can listen. It seems like the music. It seems like to me always. I don't listen to them a lot. I don't listen to local radio a lot. Not a lot. I use the XM radio more, but it seems to me if I go to iPower, within seconds, if I go to 106.5 The Beat, they're playing the same songs at the same time.
Yeah. But that's how the artists get paid too, though, off of spins. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people, and I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of people are like, we play the same song. But the artist is popping right now and they have a single out and getting paid, but it's some songs we can't play. You know what I'm saying? Because people are still doing pay over and stuff like that. But I really didn't feel like it was competition. Because at the end of the day, when I saw them, I said, "What's up?" And when they saw me, they said, "What's up?" You know, because they knew I was gonna be on top of the Hummer, doing push-ups, getting the people to come over to Victory Nissan. You know what I'm saying? I used to walk by VCU line, right? And I'd be acting like I was talking on the phone, like, "Hey, Chris Brown, where you about to pull up at? I'm at the corner right now." They'd be like, "Hold on real quick, Chris. Yeah, what's up?" Like, I'm probably like, "What? Who are you?" You know, it's crazy, man. Like, but I mean, you just get a good relationship with the people in sales too, for real. If
Yeah.
you get, I mean, you gotta go and let's talk about it. A good relationship with the people in the sales department, and you can bring business to the organization. Oh, they gonna love you a long time.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, much respect to both iPower and 106.5 The Beat. I know Lily Chanel's over there and she's doing her thing. But for
Shout
me,
out
in the
Lily.
21 years I've been in Richmond, it's just been Mike Street.
Yeah,
It's Mike Street to me. It's Mike Street. I mean, Big Nat was over there for a while and he gets my respect, obviously. But when I think about 106.5 The Beat, I think about Mike Street. I just think Mike Street, Mike Street, Mike Street. What is 106.5 The Beat without Mike Street? It might as well be the Mike Street show, with Lily Chanel. I mean, I think, and he's a phenomenal, he's an icon in this work. So he gets all the respect. But so what converted to the transition for you? Like, what was the motivation? You went in and you was a partner. I want to get into this. You was a partner with Tech. You guys had 101.1 The Fam. You was a partner there for 5 years. For those of you who don't know, 101.1 The Fam is a digital internet radio show that could reach, on any given day, 250,000 people or so. And when you guys came together, just seemed like a match made in heaven. I don't know if this is public news to a lot of people. Some people are going to just be learning today that you're no longer there, though. And we're interested to hear about what's on the horizons, where you're going with that. But kind of give me the transition of what is that, is being an owner in the radio space what contributed to you leaving IPower, and talk about that and where you're at now.
So actually, it's crazy because I left IPower. I got let go from IPower because they said they were doing budget cuts. So this is around the time like 2017 after Labor Day. So when they let me go, I made a post like, I'm not affiliated with Radio One. Thank you for everybody. Blah, blah, blah. And it was a good time. But so I knew that it was time for me to go for Radio One. And I'm very humble when I say this. I have a company called Grind Time, right? Because I feel like everything in life is a grind. So basically, I have a group of artists that will push artists in the streets, like Ice Water, Dune Waiter. It's actually his birthday there. Real Triple H, Dune Woods. And I push these artists, whatever, TAY, and we do stuff for the community. We fashion shows, feed the homeless. Grind Time, man. It's called Grind Time TMC. The movement continues. In my exit interview, my boss, who's actually the producer of The Morning Hustle with Cal Centennial, his name is Yanni Rue. Things, we're doing budget cuts, we're going in a different direction, but you're going to be like, Grind Time. When I heard that, I was like, I'm a part-time radio personality, at this time. You know what I'm saying? I was like, for him to say, you got Grind Time, I'm like, it is time for me to go somewhere else. So, I wrote that out. Tech reached out to me 3 days later and told me about 101 The Fam. Said, can we set up a meeting? And that's when they had left 1011 East Main Street. They were going to Mechanicsville. And he said, not only do we want you to come in and be an owner of the radio station. And I was like, okay, so I know what that entails. Basically, my whole goal was to get 101 The Fam to the masses. So over the years, I did an Easter egg hunt. We did this past August, we threw a back to school drive. The goal was to donate to collect 1,000 book bags. We actually got 3,500 book bags. You know what I'm saying? We actually got CBS News come out there, and like people never knew. Like some people that were there, they were like, "We didn't even know this was a radio station." So that was my whole goal. One thing about me, Randy, I don't go searching for likes. I don't go searching for like sob stories. A year ago, my wife's birthday, my laptop got stolen out of my
I
car.
remember.
And my homeboy was like, you should set up a GoFundMe. I'm not like that, yo. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to like, hey y'all, can y'all help me on my no. And I had some people that's in my circle that just sent me a donation out of the blue. You know what I'm saying? And like I just felt like I didn't need that. So fast forward, when I left 101 The Fam this past February, well March, at the beginning of this month, I was just like, it's time to do something bigger. I felt my time, as my purpose was served there. I wish them nothing but the best, and I thank Tim. I thank Ronnie, you know what I'm saying, for the time I had on there because, I mean, coming from a Radio One situation where I was there 14 years and being on air on Saturday nights, that's the only thing I knew. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I almost slipped into depression. Like, what am I going to do next? But I talked to my wife, man, and to my mom and dad, and and I gave it to God. You know what I'm saying? And some people, I know that's cliche. Some people say it, but when you you know what's the direction you gonna go. You know what I'm saying? So, man, and now I can spend more time with my kids. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know if I said this earlier. My son, he's type 1 diabetic. You know what I'm saying? And it it helps me to take him to practice more, and you know what I'm saying. It takes him to he does D1 training or whatever. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I get to spend more time with him. And and, and I love it.
Yeah. Let me say this, man. You, yo, I think you put a post up a week ago or a story up. Your son just celebrated, I think it may have been his birthday,
Uh,
and you got him a PS5, and y'all was in the store, and y'all was at
GameStop.
GameStop, and he didn't know. It was a surprise, I guess. I don't know what he thought y'all was going there to get, but like, man, I'm a dad too, man. When I saw his response, I'm gonna tell you what I thought of, and this is real. I showed it. I think I showed it to my son. When I saw that post, okay, like we, as parents, we try to do everything. Hold up, you froze up. Oh, dude. All right, we back. It froze up for a minute. You there? Okay, we good.
Yeah.
We froze up for a minute. So I saw the post. I'm gonna say that again. I saw the post on, I think it was your son's birthday. Y'all was at GameStop. And
Actually, it was the day before his birthday because the next day was his birthday,
okay.
and I would have been on the town. Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna tell you what, that post, it did something for me. And I don't know if it did anything, if it did this for anyone else who's watching or listening, but at minimum, I want your son to know this, okay? Like, we do everything as parents we can do for our kids. We spoil them. And we probably, in some ways, we do more for our kids probably than what was done for us. That's just natural, generation after generation after generation. But, kids are spoiled. I'm sure you spoil your kids. But when I saw that, man, it made me think like, he didn't look spoiled in that moment. And that, I mean, even though he's getting a PS5, you know what I'm saying? Of course, because he wants one and you want him to have one. But like, the appreciation that I saw on his face, his response, it didn't come across like spoiled to me. It kind of came across like, Dad, like, you serious? Like, he was excited. Like, I got the impression from him that he felt like deserved, like, wow. Like, it was a wow moment. And so much today, man, we just see kids who just spoiled and entitled and feel like everything is, they obligated to be given everything they want. And, a lot of times they are given things that they want. Sometimes they given things they deserve. But like, that moment that you captured on your phone and you posted was a real moment. And it wasn't about you as much to me as it was about how he responded. Like, he genuinely seemed appreciative. And so I just want to take my hat off to him for really appearing appreciative. And I also take my hat off to you, man, just for being a good father. Because like, one of the things, let me go back on that. I don't know what your day in and day out is like as a father, but what you show us, you know what I'm saying? You show us a model and an example of what I aspire to see with more of us. You know what I'm saying? Particularly men, Black men. You know what I'm saying? You're a community leader. You're a public figure. I think you provide an example that, I hope that somebody goes and checks that out and sees what I'm talking about if they didn't experience it themselves already.
My whole thing with that whole thing, bro, was when the guy asked him. I said, "Hey, can you give him a PS5?" And the guy asked him, said, "You want a PS5?" And he looked at him and said, "Yes, sir." By him saying yes, sir, to that guy, meaning that in the event that he was getting something for him, he still showed his manners. And that's one thing me and my wife try to tell him, like, you have a good manner system, it'll take you everywhere, Because he's in that middle school stage, just like, like our kids are in middle school right now, bro. And like middle school's that transition. It's hard. Man, it's hard, but I had to let them know. You're gonna face adversity, you're gonna face these bullies, but some of them you're not gonna see for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? You might see them, when you get in your 20s and 30s, they're like, oh, we went to middle school together. But it's how you act right now can affect you, going forward. So always be a respectful young man. And that's what I try to teach him, man. And I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt, man. That was I was just really proud of him. I was really proud of him. I feel like he don't even know. So I want him to make sure you show him this. He don't even know. What's your son's name?
Yeah, Timothy. Yeah.
Timothy?
Yeah.
Timothy, you don't even know the impact that people probably gained from seeing how you displayed your manners and respect to the gentleman who got the PS5 for you from behind the counter and your father by showing him the appreciation and respect that you did. And I'll be watching. You don't know who watching you. I'll be watching you and your D1 running those cones and stuff. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. And just like I'm watching you, a lot of people's watching you. And you need to remember that. They're watching you because they know that you Brandon's son. One, you Brandon's son. You represent the family when you out in public. People are going to know you because of that. And you know what I'm saying? It's your responsibility to create a name and reputation for yourself. And I tell my son the same thing. And these ain't typical conversations I have on a podcast, but that's what I think that makes my podcast unique. It ain't typical. Like we're going to talk about the fun stuff, but we also going to get in and talk about the real stuff. And like, you know, when you click those boxes of this podcast for kids, yeah, this is for kids too. Like this is kid friendly. Like, yeah, I think that he should know that, man. He should know that and he already knows there's a community of people that have respect for you and your wife, but because of you guys, when he walk out that house every day, he's a representation of you too, and people are looking at him, and he made us proud. He made us proud, so I want him to know that, man.
All right, appreciate that, man. I definitely let him know that.
So what's new now? So now we at the place where what's new? Like I know you mentioned something about possibly getting a podcast going and doing some different things.
Right now just still building, thinking about in the works of throwing my third fashion show. Have a new purpose on my fashion shows now. Normally when I used to do the fashion shows, I used to donate half the proceeds to the children's hospital. Now it's gonna be I got two organizations I'm a sponsor. It'll be Autism Society. You know, so my daughter's on the high spectrum, high end of autism, and my son with the diabetes. So JDRF, Junior Diabetes. So those are two organizations I want to, you know, contribute to now. My mother-in-law has a play coming out. Actually, the proceeds are going to go towards those two organizations, and just educating yourselves, man. You know, people think that autism is like, you know, like it's only one form of autism. No, there's different forms, you know, and you know, you just gotta educate yourself. And me being now that I'm DJing more full time now, but I still can sit back and take my son and take my daughter to different therapies they need and stuff, and just educate myself. And it's I don't know. It's not a one-sided job. It's not just for my wife. It's for me as well. You know what I'm saying? So I need to know if we have a situation and my wife's unavailable, how can I make this decision? So, you know, but other than that, getting the podcast get together from thinking about September, still calling the dinner plate. You know, because we bring everything to the table. Thinking about doing some different restaurants around the city, doing food reviews. But want to make it different though. I don't want to just focus on the food. I want to have conversation with the people that's actually at the food restaurant. You know,
Yeah.
doing more corporate gigs as well. Doing more traveling with the DJing. Partnering partnership with Rosie's and the Park RVA. So I'll be there more. Man, I don't know if you've been there, man. The park is amazing.
Yeah, I've been there one time. I seen
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's they had me in the main room for my wife's birthday, and yeah, it was a real good experience. Just fun, man. Just living up, you know, and I don't know, just you know what, Randy, I'm gonna be real with you, man. And one of my biggest things, bro, was going back to, you know, when you talk about J. Cole. When he came, J. Clark, like, man, you don't understand. We don't talk every day. I can't say we talk every month. But the fact that he came to see me in college, bro, him
Who
and his
was
boy
that?
Aldron,
Who was that?
he came and saw me in college.
Who?
J. Clark.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, I want to make sure. Sometimes just if you go that way, sometimes it gets bluff. So just make sure you straight. Yeah.
Yeah. But Jay Clark and Aljon Carter, they came and they saw me. My bad. I'm sorry.
You good?
They came and visited me at Virginia State. And man, I didn't really have a lot of people come visit me from back home. But my purpose out in this world is to have those back home that can't make it out, or you know what I'm saying, is rooting for me. I just want to make them proud, man. So, you know, every gig I do, you know, I can't half-ass it, you know what I'm saying? I go hard. I tell people this all the time. I don't care if 3 people show up or 3,000 people show up. You know, with this fashion show that I'm doing, bro, I've done 2 of them. I just do that so I can show people we don't need these corporations. We know people that could sponsor these things.
Yeah.
I have affiliation with T-Mobile. I have affiliation with Capital One. You know, um, I just wanted people to know that, like, we can do our own thing. We got to stop blaming people. Like, one thing I really want, I'm saying, man, was like, how people say the artists don't like the DJs don't support.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that real quick. I can't support an artist, Randy, if they don't play clean music. I play a lot of music in the schools. I'm not gonna jeopardize my check because somebody that's in the hood got a hot song, ain't got a clean version. Call me whack all you want to, but my daughter loves goldfish. Okay, I need to do what I gotta do to get that goldfish, all right?
Yeah.
So, I just want the artists and the DJs to come together and build a relationship. Because Randy, think about this: as a DJ or as other DJs, we're trying to make it out of here too, but we're trying to make it around here too, right?
Yeah.
So we're just like an artist. So if I'm playing your track, film me playing it.
Yes.
Support me, follow me, get my followers up. You feel me? I want to be like an artist, bro. I want to get my followers up.
I want to be DJ Khaled too.
Another one.
That's the truth, man. That's the truth. Same thing goes for podcasting. It's so selfless. It's so selfless. That's kind of why I started the interview by saying, like, I'm at a place right now. I've been podcasting for a long time. I don't know. In this version of the Randy Wilson podcast, it's probably been like since 2018, 2019, pre-COVID, like at least 5 years. At least 5 years, at least. And I don't know, because this is 2024. So maybe longer than that. I'd have to go on Instagram and scroll to the beginning to remember when. But it's so selfless. It's so selfless. And I because think about it, when you podcast, your agenda is typically my agenda. Let me just say that my agenda is interview based. I'm always talking about the other person. I'm bigging up the other person. I'm focusing on them. I'm marketing them. I'm pushing them. It's like I'm sharing them.
Exactly.
And I'm okay with that. My platform is completely I'm not say completely but it's probably like 75% virtual now. Yeah. And that's because I put a lot of money out there, man. And I realized, like, at the end of the day, the people who I really want to gravitate to my show are going to listen to the podcast. Mm-hmm. So all the money I'm putting into all this visual stuff, I mean, half the people that I've interviewed ain't reshared it, reposted. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so I started thinking, it's like, you know what? I'm going to brand myself on my conversation value, my consistency, quality. I really put research into my guests so that I can have meaningful conversation with them. And I have no expectations. I have no goals. Because it's therapeutic. No, it's therapeutic for me. If somebody comes back to me and says, "Oh, you got to do the podcast. I heard your interview was such and such." Good. Boom. That's all I'm looking for. And it don't matter, like you, it don't matter if 3 people say it or 300 people say it. It don't even matter.
But the person that you interviewing, they will help themselves by sharing your interview.
Say that again. It says what now?
All right, so the people that you're interviewing, right?
Mm-hmm.
They would benefit themselves by sharing your interview.
They would, they would. I don't get it.
Because I have a radio background. I don't know.
I don't get it. But I mean, to each his own. We go on. So check it. We're gonna.
You just I have no goals. Yeah, but that's cool though. But yeah, man. Yeah.
So look, fourth quarter, man. This is what I like to do here. As we wrap up, man. Before we go into, because I like to do some random questions. I want to get your perspective on a few things. But anything that you want to share that we haven't addressed? Is there anything that you want to get off? Because I want to make sure we do. If not, I'm gonna get some randomness out of you.
No, just real quick, man. Just don't be typically right now, as I'm DJing full time, I'm not opposed to like any genre, I'm seeing a lot of the rise of that Latino community in the South Side middle schools. If you have and I'm just plugging myself right now, like I do these, like, I started early with these kids, y'all, like, because I know these kids gonna grow up, but I never want to feel one side. I don't want to feel a certain group feeling alienated.
Yeah.
So that me saying that, while I'm in Fallen Creek Middle School, at these other middle schools, I'm asking the Spanish kids, what songs do you listen to? DJs, if it ain't even me, do your research.
Yeah.
Do your research. Like reggaeton is not the only type of Spanish music.
Yeah.
You gotta learn bachata, you gotta learn merengue. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know who's from South America, who's from Central America,
Yeah.
It's different types, so like with this DJing, people and I just feel like I one thing I hate was people, and I know people gonna be looking at this and they're gonna say, "Oh, he talking about me," but I gotta say it. I can't keep I can't keep having people say, "Can you volunteer your time and come out DJ for 4 hours?" I'm gonna ask you this: Can I call Dominion Power and tell them volunteer my lights? You know what I'm saying? For 4 days? Are you gonna go to work and volunteer your free shift? So I just say, if you want to get a Bluetooth speaker and get your own playlist, do that. Some of us, a lot of us, take our job seriously.
Yeah.
A lot of people, don't see that. And a lot of people in the DJ game is kind of cutthroat too. You got people undercutting people too. You know what I'm saying? Well, I charge $100 less than him just to get their name in there. But I say that to say this. Um, every time Jazzy Jeff said it best. Them people don't care how good you scratch. Brandon, I can tell you this. I don't use turntables. I use virtual DJ. I've been using virtual DJ since 2009. 2012, I got my own business, BSounds Productions LLC. My last 9 to 5 was 2014. I've been using virtual DJ ever since, and I'm booked every weekend.
Let me make
So I
sure.
tell
Hey,
people,
so for those who don't understand that, virtual DJing means you're not using actual turntables. It's like a computer screen,
software on my computer. Yep.
and you can mix on that.
Yes.
Wow.
You can mix on that.
I didn't even know
And
that.
I've had people hate on me because of that. But at the end of the day, you got to make yourself marketable. And you know what I'm saying? You're going to put in what you're going to get out of.
Does
You
the
put in a
skill
little
set
bit.
transfer over though to the turntables?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can. It can. It depends on how much practice you put in. But yeah, I say it would.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that I started in radio on the mic though.
Yeah.
That's what helped me.
Well, I mean,
But
I don't see I think the thing about you is I see you as an entertainer.
exactly.
I don't see you just as one thing or the other. I see you as an entertainer. And a lot of that is because you have the ability to use your voice well.
Mm-hmm.
So keep doing what you're doing, brother. I mean, we're proud of you. And I know that if I need someone, now that I know that you're in it full time, if I know anyone who's looking for a DJ, I'm gonna make sure I let them know. DJ BSounds. By the way, I'm gonna share the podcast interview. Oh, check this guy out here. You can give me one like on this podcast, and you can check him out. He got you.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm coming to randomness. I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, here's the randomness. Puff Daddy, did he do it? Is he guilty or not?
I mean,
you ain't guilty till proven innocent. I mean, you're innocent until proven guilty, but I mean,
a lot of people telling the same stories though. You know what I'm saying?
Brother looking stressed out though. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'd be stressed out too.
Yeah. He definitely looking stressed out. And I don't know, man.
You met Puffy?
I like
you met Puffy?
Huh?
Did you meet him when he came to Richmond?
You remember when back in like when he did the Fresh Prince album?
Yeah.
Yep. I actually joked with him though, because I was like, take that. I'm about to go get some Proactive from her, you know what I'm saying? But and I had on a Sean shirt too. I was post the other day. I think that's the last time I bought a Sean shirt. That was crazy. Man, we gonna pray for that brother, man.
Yeah, we gotta pray for the bro. I kind of feel like when he gave Cassie that 30 million, he acknowledged some form of guilt. So I don't know.
He didn't want nothing. He didn't want nothing to come out.
Yeah,
my whole thing is this: why did it take her to all the visiting churches start getting up and getting in line for to get something to eat? You know what I'm saying? Now everybody getting up.
It's like, well, they seen one collection plate lead to church, so they figured, well, we need another one too. Can those in the congregation in the back please stand up?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
So I mean, but you know what they say, hit them in the wallet first, you know.
Yeah.
But did you think about it too? Is that his money or is that the insurance money that he has saved up that paid her that money? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta dig deeper into it. Like, I
Well,
don't know.
he just so revolt, so he got money.
Yeah.
He got money. We'll see what happens. I look at it like this, man. If they can get R. Kelly, they can get Bill Cosby, then Puffy ain't out the dark. I mean, and I might not even use out the dark was probably not even the word to use right there. I shouldn't even say it out the dark. He's in the light for sure right now, though. But prayers to Puffy, prayers to his family, and prayers to the alleged victims, if they are or not. Like I'm not, hey, I ain't got a bone in the fire. Look, let justice be served. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, NCAA bracket. Who do you got going to the Final Four?
Let's go, man. First, I'm gonna say you got Purdue. I mean, Clemson, they playing good. My my people, my people's the Baycocks. You know what I'm saying?
I can't hear you.
So
It's not
looking.
clear. Say it again.
My people are the Baycocks. I'm going for Armando Baycott, man. I hope he takes it home, bring it back home to Richmond.
Yeah, I'm a Carolina fan. I'm a Carolina fan. I hope Carolina wins, but in my bracket, I got UConn. I mean, I want Carolina to win, but see, the way I do my bracket is I go look at Jay Byler, Stephen, Jay Williams. I go look at all the experts and I compare theirs, and then I make mine. I actually start from the champion, and then I go back. I start from the Final Four, and then I go to the 64. So, and I've been winning. I've been winning, doing it. My method has worked. I win my bracket. I've won it 2 out of the past 3 years. So we'll see what happens. For those of you who out there need any help on that, I can help coach and guide you for a small fee. All right. Chicken or fish?
Chicken.
Baked, fried, deep fried, grilled.
Here we go. Since my wife got me on this new healthy stuff now, I don't do fried no more. But I do ask for plain wings, so like grilled with no sauce on the side.
That's me too. Plain wings. I just give me some little ranch. I'm good.
America's best.
Yo, but I'll tell you whose wings on point though is Marco's, man. Marco's got some good chicken wings. Hey, that's it. By the way, Marcos, if you want to provide an endorsement or sponsorship, we are willingly accepting. Because I know y'all franchise and there's a lot of Black ownership in Marcos. So I'm just saying, support us. All right. I know some black franchise owners of Marcos.
Oh, Marcos Pizza, right?
Yeah.
I know they Sigmas, they went to Virginia State, do their Brandon Hudson.
I don't know him personally, but I know somebody who does some work with him. So you know him.
Oh, yeah, that's my
Brandon,
people, man.
Well, you said, look, you know what I'm saying? Look, you said T-Mobile, Capital One. Let's add Marcos to that list. Let's figure out a way to get Marcos some sponsorship money for that fashion show. We need to do it. Support it. HBCU, let's go. Let's go. All right. When you was younger, you still a young man, but when you was, younger, who was your celebrity childhood crush?
Tatiana Ali.
Yeah, Tatiana Ali was right. She was right. Do you have a favorite DJ?
I had a couple. Yeah, I'm gonna say I got it. Sheesh. Lonnie. I don't know. I'm gonna say Lonnie. The only reason because I'm not gonna be cliche. Lonnie did this mix back in I think it was like when it snowed. Victoria has asked me, can I go work at the radio station? I'm like, it's snowing. She said, we'll pay for your room at the Embassy Suite. I said, I'm on the way. Lonnie did this Cash Money No Limit mix show. I was like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? That was crazy. I grew up in the South, man. Well, in the country. But man, a lot of them, man. Mark J in the East End, some OGs, DJ Melvin, DJ Herb Lover. Man. Junior mix in the reggae set, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shout out to the homie Swerve De Niro too, man.
Swerve De Niro. I haven't really heard it. Swerve ain't doing the radio. Is he on the radio anymore?
He's on the weekends, yeah.
Okay, I ain't heard Swerve's name in a minute, man. Shout out Swerve De Niro. That's another person who who got some stories for sure. I'm sure to show that we need to tap into. Have you ever DJ'd at the Satellite?
No, I got kicked out of the satellite before. No, I'm playing. Nah, I ain't DJed at the satellite before, but I heard they got good wings though.
Yeah, yeah. All the hood spots got
Oh,
to get
RJ,
wings.
RJ too. RJ,
So
it's the
RJ,
homie.
so
She's
RJ
savage.
definitely have DJ'd at the Satellite.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, RJ.
RJ be DJing, and so man, I ain't gonna lie, yo. You couldn't. If I didn't know better, I might think he Dominican or something for real.
Yeah.
Cause he be DJing the salsa stuff. He be finding a way to get his bag in them spots.
RJ got this song called Take It Off, and it's like 15 minutes long. But at the end, he shouts out all these places that he's DJed at before. And he said, Alta Vista, Virginia. When he said Alta Vista, I went crazy. Yeah.
Yo,
So,
hey, this is my last question before we wrap up, man. Who do you? Well, no, I got two more questions. Two more questions. Next question is who's somebody you think I should have on a show that I haven't had on the show, or somebody that you think that that deserves the light shine on them, who's grinding, who's been doing it for a minute, who's and also who also can contribute to having a good conversation. I put you on the spot. This is
yeah.
this is kind of how I'm trying to figure out my direction. Like I be looking for inspiration on conversations I want to have, and um, who better to ask than the people I have on the show?
Um, there's a lot of people out here, man, I could think of. On top of my head, Nicole Fields, uh, the CEO of Real Girls, um, they doing a lot for the young ladies in the city of Richmond. Uh, who else, man? Um, influential people. It's people that got some good stories, you know what I'm saying? And like they
Mm-hmm.
need to get their story out there. Um, oh man.
Yo, the ADHD just kicked in. We don't want you thinking too hard, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
Nicole
cool.
Fields. Yeah, Jay Patrick, Liberation Church.
I know Jay Patrick. See, interesting, like that's another person. I remember he went, don't even tell me. Because I remember him in college because he played basketball too. Did he go to Hampton Sydney?
Yep,
I thought so. And
Gretna,
you're
Virginia.
right. I definitely need to get with Jay Patrick for
Yep.
sure. He's definitely his ministry and what he's doing with veterans and things and housing. Like he's making an impact for sure.
I used to get a feed the homeless at one of his shelters. With and I got people from Cinder Chef restaurant and Miss
He went to
Gurley's.
Gretna High School, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he went to Gretna. Yep.
Yeah.
Also, Jay Patrick and Prince, Community Love. It used to be Conscious Community.
Okay.
They got a clothing store that's in the National Harbor, but he's from Gretna as well. But you need to ask him, how is it that he got in trouble for put his posters up there and they wanted to vandalize his name, right? But then he went to the View, and Whoopi Goldberg gave everybody in her audience a shirt that says "hate" with the line through it. But then Channel 6, they didn't want to acknowledge that. They wanted to slander his name at first, but then they wanted to acknowledge when he did something
Hey man,
positive.
I may need to help. You may need to help me pull these together. I'm interested in talking to some of these people, man.
Yeah, definitely that, man. And
Before we go and close up, man, I just need the selfless, shameless plug. Why should people listen to the Randy Wilson podcast?
because it's a genuine conversation. It's not no, you know what I'm saying? Like you get to talk about everything freely, And it's not, and I mean, and when people talk about the serious issues, they need to hear it. I think I like what you've been doing because you did it before the pandemic. A lot of people started doing this during the pandemic. You had a vision before, and I'm liking how you like the politicians and stuff like that. Like, and you just trying to hear what these people got to say. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're not out here like, trying to get controversy to get likes.
Yeah, there's definitely
You know
no.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's no clout chase. It has been a long time, probably 5, it may be 6 years. I don't even remember, man. I think I know I started in September of 18 or 19. Comedian Micah Bam Bam White was the first guest. We did it in the basement, and then my wife said, "Listen, these basement parties that you having, calling yourself podcasting, is getting out of control." So then we had to start moving it different places to different places, but it's been fun, and I'm gonna keep doing podcasts. But I consider all the shows I'm doing going forward exclusive. I really do. Reason why is because I want to. I'm not the show to come to if you own your press run. I just want to be very clear. I'm not that show. Not to say that I won't do it, but I'm definitely not. That's not the typical. I want to have a diverse, broad audience. And the goal for me is more just branding myself as a conversationist. We can talk about whatever. And I appreciate you coming on. Glad we was able to get this connected.
Real quick, brother.
What's up?
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Please, man. I ain't in no rush.
So
I'm just doing. I'm just breaking for the listeners because I know half of them your audience got ADHD too. I'm good. I can talk as long as you want to talk. Go ahead. We can reverse.
I've always had this question asked to me, and I know you probably had this deal with you as well. How do you know, or where are you trying to go? How do you know if you made it or not? That's my thing. Like, we can do this in Richmond, Virginia, right? But how do we know if we make it? Because I'm always dealing with myself. Like, I look at people videos and, because they got these DJ lists out here. That's why I tell my younger DJs, don't even pay attention to the DJs list.
Yeah.
There's 20 DJs on this one list. I mean, I'm not throwing no shade. They look like all Shaka Bottom DJs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they all DJs like Shaka Bottom. But my thing is, how do we think we make it? Because I'm booked every weekend.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Is it because I'm not booked every out of town or?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I got an easy answer for these DJ lists. I know the answer. The formula to being on these DJ lists, first off, majority of the DJs on the DJ list are from the 757. The majority of the people on the DJ list who are creating these lists are from the 757. I mean, create your own list.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Like you can create it, but these lists are typically motivated by people who are, and I don't mean this in any disrespectful way, but they are to some degree cloud chasing. To some degree, like they're paying for visibility. They're aggressively got people behind them who's trying, or they're cultivating a community that's massively spreading their stuff. It's a popularity, it's an internet popularity thing, But to me, I think making it is I think that has to be like you're making it, I'm making it, someone else is making it. No, I don't think anybody can tell you when you made it. I think for me, making it is being able to provide for my family at a level that's like just phenomenal. Ideally, like I wish that my wife, I wish I could say I'm gonna take care of my whole family. You know what I'm saying? And I have multiple streams of income to do so. But because, that's my dream, my goal, my vision. But for someone else, it might not be that. It might just be the reality of it is some people look at you and me and they say we made it. And to some degree, we have made it. You know what I'm saying? We done finished college. We got families. Our kids are growing up. You know what I'm saying? We not out here. We're able to pay our bills and do some other things too. You know what I'm saying? And in a lot of people's eyes, we've made it. But the reality of it is, you and I know, and I don't have to ask you, and you ain't got to ask me. We still got goals and visions for ourselves that go beyond what we doing. And I think that's the key, man. Like, just to continue to extend the bar, you know what I'm saying? But in this podcast space, man, I know that I've not accomplished what I want to accomplish. And I've finally accepted in recent years or so that in order for me to do it, I really would have to cultivate a team of people around me. Like everything it's typically been 2 people, me and my friend Tamir, with this podcast. We've done most of it all. I mean, there's been some other people too. Don't get me wrong. I've had Chris Randolph, Sam Anderson. I've had a lot of people who've played some strong contributing roles to my podcast for sure, no doubt, with ideas, visions, and editing and work like that. But most of the stuff I've done with this podcast is done fee for service. Ain't no one volunteering to say, hey, let's work together as a team.
Yeah.
And really, in the ideal world, if I could cultivate a team of people who wanted to put emphasis on digital marketing, who wanted to put emphasis on booking guests, whatever the case is, then I could grow it. But until I'm able to do that,
I see.
I don't think it, I've accepted that it's from a scale standpoint, it's just going to be what it's going to be. So in order for me to get there, I got to put more infrastructure in place. That's why I'm trying to be a part of someone else's. I'm trying to be on your podcast. Like I'm ready to be. I'm at a place where like I'm always gonna do podcasts, but I really believe in team.
Yeah, I feel you on that, bro.
Yo, bro. I mean, a lot of people I would have think they look at you, bro. You did 13 years at iPower. You did 5 years independent radio. You got 20 years in the game in radio, and I mean, man, you know how many people wish they could say that? Quite frankly, I wish I could say that I had some time in radio. My radio days ended in college radio. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any professional experience in radio. I've been on radio. I've learned some things about radio, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and again, more than all that, you've been an owner in radio. You know what I'm saying? So, what prompted you to ask the question?
I just hearing over the time, like I guess what keeps me going is I never want to be that person that comes up and be like, I used to care records for my man DJ Elbow back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to keep going and because I know it's gonna come to an end. And I've talked to some people like some legendary, like Big Sky and Spade. I
Mm-hmm.
talked to Spade before. And Spade told me like he had to do therapy one time. He told us when he was to stop DJing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I want to come to where I know where I can just give it up and walk away and I can be at peace. You know?
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
I hope you don't do that no time soon though. I hope you don't. I'm gonna tell you what, man. For those who don't know though, like Big Star is a great example, man. Big Star is a legend in music. Okay.
Yep.
And I went to Spade's house one time
In the backyard.
in the backyard and
A
seen
rhythm
where they
shack.
put, and I seen where all the people, I mean, listen, we should probably make this a clip right here. Like, if you don't know who Spade Haynes is, all right.
The OG, bro.
Man, Spade, I'm honored to say that I went over there. We was trying to shoot a podcast and we had some problems with the recording. It didn't work out, but we did get some content created. I got a crazy freestyle and I might put this together in another clip, but I seen all the people who came through that spot in his backyard to record.
Huh?
And I mean, this is stuff that you hear about, but unless you see it, it don't really touch you the same. Like, there's a lot of you who have no clue of all the phenomenal artists, MCs, and producers who come through Richmond, who particularly have come to Spade Haynes' house and recorded. And Spade is legendary. Like,
Yeah.
Spade has made it to me.
Yeah.
He's made it to a point to me where if he decides he don't want to do nothing, then he ain't got to do nothing. Because if he want to ever jump back in, he can.
Yeah. I remember being at Spade House and DJ Cool came through there and I was like, "Can I get a drink?" He said, "Yeah, you speak, boy." Yeah. DJ Cool right there, bro. Like all these years listening to my cousins from DC coming down playing DJ Cool.
Yeah.
Spade vouching like I don't know, man. Picture with Spade and Style. Like that job was crazy, bro. Like,
Yeah, man.
thank you.
Yeah. Like I said,
Yeah,
man,
so
there's people out there who don't want to be, who haven't chose to be on my show for whatever reason, or don't want to be, whatever the case. That's fine. But I can say I've had BSounds on my show. I can say I've had DJ Cool. I've had Lonnie B. I've had Mad Skills. I've had governor candidates. I had Deshauna from the Miss USA. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had yo Stogie T. I don't know if y'all know who Stogie T is. You know who Stogie T is? Stogie T is like was the biggest hip hop selling artist out of South Africa. He's like Nas in Africa. Like,
wow.
and when he was on my podcast, I said, "What do you know about Virginia?" He said, "I remember Virginia when Mad Skills dropped From Where." I was like, "What?" And like he's like he's a big artist in Africa. But I've had some big people on my artists, big people on my show. But I've also had people turning nose up because my show ain't big enough for them. You know, and that's cool too. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
if you just now becoming familiar with my show and you just listen to it, you can go see. I got like 150 episodes on YouTube probably and Spotify. So go check them
Appreciate
out.
you, brother.
Get familiar.
I appreciate you having me.
I appreciate having you too, man. And this ain't got to be the last one, man. For real, man. We need to do something together, bro.
I know.
Ponder it. Ponder it.
I got you.
All right, bro. Look, this is Randy Wilson Podcast, Virginia's podcast for the culture. From the culture, you can find us on Libsyn, Stitcher, you know, Apple, Google Play, wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also go over to randywilsonpodcast.com. Appreciate you being on the show, BSounds, and we are out.